Hello, I'm Stephen Wynn, owner of Delorean Motor Company. Would you like to come and take a look around with me? Okay, so we'll do a quick walkthrough. Obviously you can see we've got all sheet metal and parts around us, some chassis of DeLoreans over here. This here is, to my right, is actually a body drilling jig which we'll utilize when we go back into production. It was a tool from the original factory that came from Dunmurry in Northern Ireland, which we'll be absolutely putting back to use. It is the end of the day here, so all the cars that we normally would have in the lot outside are all inside, and we can just take a quick walk through the shop here and you can see what we have going on. Okay, we're going into the service department right now. We generally have anywhere between 30 and 50 cars on site at any given time. Most of them are all customer owned cars here for service, restoration, general repairs. As you can see, we've got a pretty shop full right now of cars here. This is our shipping and receiving department. This is the shipping area. We generally ship anywhere from 20 to 40 packages a day, and they could be going to our dealers, to owners all around the world. We try to ship our stuff as quick as possible. These last 12 months with the pandemic, it's been challenging times, but again, it seems to be working out okay. Just to give you an idea, this building here is 40,000 square feet, 200 by 200. We have just shy of 4 million DeLorean parts in the facility, lots and lots of NOS original parts, as well as reproductions that we reproduce as the years go by. When we bought all the remaining inventory many years ago, we got all the technical spec and drawings, which really helps us a lot. Although it's old school, all the drawings that we have are all flat drawings. Nobody deals in drawings anymore, so we have to get our drawings and have them converted over to CAD a lot of times, but it's okay. It's better than having nothing, I can tell you that for sure. You look at these bins here, and these bins actually came from the factory in Dunmurry. And if you ever see any pictures of the factory, and you'll see the bins that were on the shop floor, these are those bins, and probably what's in them now is what was in them 40 years ago, say, when they were in the factory, and it's still the same inventory. So lots of deep DeLorean history in this building. Just from the bins, even the racking here, I don't know if you can come in here and look at this, and if you can see this label here, but it says DeLorean. They were manufactured in Rhyl, which is in northern Wales, and there's a date code on them. I think these are dated, as I recall, from June of 1981. So as we're in the main body of the warehouse here, there are about 2,850 parts that go to make a DeLorean. We have about 80% of those parts already in this facility. One of the biggest single items and single item of value is a DeLorean door, the gull-wing doors. We actually have 1,000 doors in the building, and if you look down this aisle here, that's 200 feet of DeLorean doors, and that's a third of the doors that we have here, which when we go back into production, they will be immensely valuable to us, because they would probably be the most expensive piece to reproduce. So having them on hand is going to be real helpful on the financial side for us for when we start. And as we transition into this side of the facility here, again, it's more deep storage. When we go into production of the DeLoreans and we start doing the assembly, this whole area will be cleared out, and then this will be our assembly hall that we'll use, where we'll actually set up 3 assembly lines, where there'll be a body assembly line, a chassis assembly line. The body and chassis will be mated, and then there'll be a final fit for the stainless panels, somewhat mimicking what they did originally in Belfast, but obviously on a much smaller scale. But it's going to be real fun and exciting once we get to do that. We've been chomping at the bit for many years to get started, and it's getting closer. As we walk around here, you'll see these are more of the DeLoreans that we have in storage that are waiting for their time to come. They're either cars that we haven't looked at yet, or they're in the queue waiting to be inspected, and then we'll do the presentation to the customers, and then we'll go ahead and start restoring them.
When the factory closed in late '82, everything that was left in the factory, all the parts that had yet to be assembled into cars, were shipped up from the factory in Ireland here to the States. So virtually everything you see in here came out of that factory in Northern Ireland back in the day. Lots of the stuff is still in the same containers from June of '81. Now, there's about 1,000 doors here left. This is about a third of them. About 1,000 doors mixed left and right. Here on the other side of the building, we've got 2 more rows of doors, just like the one we saw over there. Crash repair pieces of the cars up high. All these wire bins full of interior trim pieces, AC lines, door panels, sunshades, wiring harnesses. I may have said wiring harnesses already, but a lot of this stuff, this is something that is a real kind of piece of history. All these boxes here went to the DeLorean factory in Northern Ireland from their supplier in West Germany, back when there was a West Germany. Of course, now there's only Germany, not East and West. But those are some of the neat things that are in here that came out of the factory, that have been in these boxes virtually untouched, for the last very nearly 40 years now. On the racks here in front of us, shock absorbers and basically steering columns, everything you need to pretty much build a DeLorean again are all things that we have here in this building. And this is what's left after 40 years of this being the primary source for DeLorean parts. So you can imagine what must have been here, what must have been available at least back in 1982 when all this stuff came here to the States. Something in the DeLorean community that we call cave paintings, or when the guys at the factory used to write things inside the doors as they were putting the cars together. This one in particular happens to be the last right-hand door to be made at DMC, and it was made by the people who signed it. B. Atkinson, Brian Boyle, Phil Goff, Hugh Barrett, R.J. Cowden, Kay Ferris, and someone apparently known as Boatman. And they wrote "The End of a Dream, or Is It?" These were people that very likely did not have a job before they came to work at DeLorean in their entire life. Some people at the factory, they were the first person in 2 or 3 generations to actually have a job. That's how bad unemployment was in Northern Ireland back in 1979, 1980, 81. So these are people that came off the street, learned how to build these cars, and and then within a year or so had it all taken away from them. And that's why the end of a dream, or is it? Because they still hoped that for all the investment that had put into having the factory built and building all these cars, that somebody would come in and take it over again and they could go back to work.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching this video. We really enjoy it when people come by and see us. It's always fun to show around what we have, and most people find it quite unbelievable that we have such a large inventory for a car that went out of production so long ago.